Welcome to the Podcast Editing Basics with Audacity series. In this first video, I'm going to talk about zooming and selecting, the two fundamental skills that help us build more efficient editing within Audacity. If we understand zooming and we understand selecting, we can start to understand everything else we do with audio. Well, to start, we also have to understand something else, which is to say we listen to audio in a linear fashion. It's kind of an obvious point to make. We're used to listening to audio. You're listening to me talk. But we listen to audio in a nonlinear fashion. We edit audio, or that is, we listen to audio in a linear fashion. We edit audio in a nonlinear fashion. I should edit myself as I'm talking here. Well, we see the audio within Audacity. Notice little blue waveforms here, starting at 1.0 and 20.0 over here on the right-hand side, that it's set up in a linear way. Notice I'm already navigating this audio in a linear fashion. If I click play, welcome to the podcast editing with Audacity, and then stop. I've stopped that audio play, but it played from left to right, again in a linear way. I can also navigate, going to the beginning of a track or to the end of a track, and notice we're right under a minute 13, coming back to the beginning. So I can edit back and forth if I want to, or play from the beginning, or play from any point within that track. If I click right here, right around this 6.0, I could play right from that and stop, and there we go. So I mentioned that we listen to audio in a linear way, but we edit in a non-linear way. Well, to start to understand that, we often want to zoom in and out and look at sections of the audio in different ways. We do that through using the View menu right here, over here at the top, View, Zoom, and then different options. Zoom in, Zoom normal, or Zoom out. We also have Zoom to selection and Zoom toggle, but the first three are our most common options. In fact, if you're going to be editing audio a lot, it's actually recommended that you start to learn these keyboard shortcuts. So on Windows, this is Control 1, Control 2, and Control 3. On Mac, it would be Command 1, Command 2, or Command 3. So, okay, we're currently looking at this audio that's from 1 second to 20 seconds. If we zoom in, we see it's now 11, and if I use the keyboard shortcut, Command 1 on Windows, we zoom in again, zoom in again, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and keep zooming as far as we want to go, right here to the limit. That's not particularly helpful, so zoom out, or zoom back to normal, which was Control 2, Zoom normal. Show us the normal 21 seconds, 20 seconds view here. But again, we want to edit in a non-linear way. So sometimes I want to look at everything, so we'll zoom out a little bit. And maybe I want to look at the whole project, and then maybe I want to zoom into a special part, and then I can use the scroll bar, depending on what zoom level I'm looking at, to find a certain place, and then we want to do the actual editing. So finally, we're moving over to the second skill I wanted to talk about, and that's selecting. So we're editing audio in a nonlinear way. We're moving back and forth in zoom levels, zooming in, zooming out, zooming normal, looking at a project, looking at tracks. Finally, we want to actually do something. So the first step is understanding selecting, which is going to help us to build in other videos of the various tools we'll use and the various techniques to edit that audio. But again, we need to zoom in and out, and then we're going to select something. So by default, right here, the selection tool is automatically enabled. If we start up Audacity, it's the first tool selected, so that helps us a lot. So often we want to find some selection of audio and then do something to it, as I've talked about here. So I can click within a track, click and drag either left to right or right to left, and notice it's a slightly different color. This shows us that this subsection of audio is now selected. This is what we're going to edit. At the same time, you may have noticed these numbers down here at the bottom also changed. So we have the current audio position, where we started the cursor at. Then we have the start and end of selection. Right here, 33.785, and it ends at 35.178. We can also change this if we wanted the start and length of selection, length and end of selection, or length and center of selection. Usually start and end of selection is pretty standard for editing, so we can just leave it there for now. So we have what we're selected, the start and the end, as well as the current audio position. These are the two fundamental skills. Like I said, zooming in and out, looking at a project either on the macro level, all the different tracks, or a single track, or coming into the micro level and looking at nanoseconds or milliseconds of audio and then doing something to it. What we do to it is first we select it to show Audacity that's what we're going to work with, and then we do something else. But these are the two things we need to learn first: zooming and selecting. And this will help us with our basics of podcast editing with Audacity. Thanks for watching.